chicken thighs that make me feel so good. Bacon fat, I'd marry that if I only could. Stoking coals soothes my soul. I love my barbecue. Understand, I'm just a man with the pork fat baby back blues.
Welcome to the Gdayall, our first podcast, episode 1. My name is Phil.
And I'm Barbara.
Well, here we are. We're going to do this podcast, and it's all about food, love, joy, everything we like to do in life, basically around food.
That's right. We're taking our water cooler chat from the lunchroom onto a podcast.
Yeah, we always meet out there, or actually, it's not really a water cooler. It's more of like a hot water dispenser so we can make our tea and coffee. And, you know, we always have things that just come up out of the blue and just talking about them, and we have a great time doing it. And then the rest of the staff usually joins in.
That's right. And we have some differences where I represent the West Coast.
And I'm from the East. I'm from New York. Can't you tell that?
Phil's got the Italian background and quite a cool story about how he came here, and I just fell in love and came here. And I've got some Southern background in my family and some Midwest as well. So we have differences in things and a lot of things in common.
Well, my father came in here and fell in love with my mother. So that's how my tie-in to Australia came about. You know, my father was here fighting the Battle of Melbourne. He was stationed at the MCG and then moved up to Brisbane and then out to PNG.
Well, see, long-distance relations do last. So your mother fell in love? Did he whisk her off to New York?
She actually, during the war, she took her own belongings and packed up and went to New York, on a boat during the war, was quite dangerous. And being from, a small town of Melbourne at the time, and then going to the Bronx and living with my grandmother, my grandfather, and my 2 aunts, who spoke nothing but Italian, ate only Italian food, and lived in a 5-story, apartment building, much different than what I think she was used to.
Oh, wow. She's made of strong stuff. But I know what that's like when you fall in love. We had a modern story where we flew back and forth for 5 years and then married. I was an exchange student and was whisked away by my husband. But that was before the internet. So it wasn't quite... Didn't your mother used to have to book calls back home?
Yeah, she had to book calls. And of course, my father being a New Yorker, he did have tie-ins with the people from the phone company that he paid them on the side. And they connected without going through a charge call because it was quite expensive at the time. And even when he had to pay these people off, it was still $100. And yeah, which would have been a fortune now.
I used to sign over my paycheck to my mother. I just go, here it is, because we would spend hours on the phone, but it wouldn't be like your mom.
Yeah, well, my mother, when she used to call home to her folks over here, it was only on, maybe once or twice a year on a special occasion. And then you had a big delay in the talk going back and forth. So a lot of it was was from letters,
Well, see, I think that's probably why we've come up with that name, Gdayall, because it's G'day from here, and we both have Australian ties, and Y'all, because it's sort of, even though you're East Coast and West Coast, that Southern thing's sort of spreading all over the U.S.
Well, wait a minute, I was born in the South Bronx. Does that count?
Oh, yeah, well, I don't know if you had biscuits and gravy, did you? It's not quite the same.
No, we didn't have biscuits and gravy, but we had other ethnic food, I had friends that were from Puerto Rico and stuff, and we had rice and beans. And, I mean, that was probably my first intro into my love of food, okay? Because, I always ate everything that my parents made and my grandmother made, and basically mostly Italian-type food. And then once I got into school and all that and started socializing with friends outside of the neighborhood or even down the block, I just developed taste for other foods, and probably my first Strange food would have been something like rice and beans and plantanos, that,
Yeah.
from Puerto Rico.
I had Mexican food, which is our neighbors down the street would do that for us, and tamales every Christmas Eve would be something we would do. And I think because we know how vast the U.S. is and that experience, and that's probably why we decided to do a podcast, because so many people have there's regions that we don't even know about that people have. Well, like Cheerwine is just one part of. Which Carolina is that from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yep.
So I never heard about that until we got here, and I saw some customer. She was in tears. She was so happy to see it.
Yeah, between that and the other drink is, which is pretty strange, is Vernon's. That we get in once in a while. The people from Michigan love Vernon's.
I like that.
So why are we doing this podcast? Well, because Bob and I really enjoy talking about food. And food leads to so many other good memories, excitement, anxiety, and it just goes on.
Happy memories.
Yeah, just food is related to us in everything we do. Okay, if we go somewhere, what do we eat? If we do something, what are we eating there or drinking? What are we cooking today? What are we experimenting with today? We just love it. And we know that a lot of people out there, a lot of our customers love food too. Otherwise, they wouldn't be coming here.
That's right. And a lot of people at this time are taking great comfort from some things they had from their childhood or things they're seeing on television that we can offer them, like Pop-Tarts and cereals and all those, and candy.
And by the way, if you haven't caught on, we work at USAFoods. I've been doing this for 20-odd years. Barbara's been here she's been a customer since the beginning. She's been with us for how many years?
I think about 12 years on and off. I'm such a good shopper. I just leave my paycheck here every week.
And so this is how all this relationship came about. And then we do trade shows and things like that in the past that people always confuse us of who we are. But this is who we are. We're just down here where we love food. We just have this thing that we know that everybody else, we want to bring you all in on this and enjoy it and invite you in to the show with these podcasts coming up. So you'll have the opportunity to either email us and we'll get it on to the next episodes, or even invite you on and you could have your say freely.
Well, and what we're going to do too every week as an enticement and a thank you, we're doing a discount code, or what do you like calling it?
The secret code. So the secret code, like for this episode, would be Gdayall.
And so that code will be good from the 16th to the 22nd of September. And you can use that in shop and online. While we're here, I'll just tell you how to find us. We are at 67 to 73 Cochrane's Road, Moorabbin. That's in Victoria for some of our interstate guests. We are open during the week from 10 to 5, Monday through Saturday. As everyone knows, we're having a pandemic at the moment. So we're in Victoria, so we have limited time people can get around. So we're now closed on Sundays. When people are feeling better, that will change. We also offer local delivery, click and collect, and you can shop online with us and we ship to you. We ship all over the country.
And also, did we mention the free deliveries that everybody that lives within the southeast of where we are here?
Just don't make me choose.
As we go on, week by week, we have a plan. We're going to have some interesting people that we know and that we hope you find interesting, because we do. We might even have a few people send us some emails with some questions or some queries or suggestions, and we'll go through those. And maybe some of you might even come on to the show one day. I mean, I'm sure someone has an interesting topic or might have the best recipe or something we're talking about.
We know you're out there.
We do, because we get to talk to you in the shop. And also, future podcasts, Phil, what do you think some good topics might be?
It's endless. So, like right now we're planning on doing for barbecue, talk about candies and other goodies that are on TV and in the movies. And don't forget, we got Halloween coming up, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So we have all of those things. And then, some other little fun things thrown in there. We'll talk about pies and cakes and even things like TV jingles, like is how many times that all of a sudden it comes into our head, hey, Barbara, remember this little jingle? And I start ringing it off, and she does the same thing to me
That's right.
because it just brings back such great memories.
That's right. Saturday morning cartoons, and I'd be eating my Apple Jacks, and I can sing A is for Apple. And people that walk into the shop do think we're crazy sometimes because we do run around singing jingles often. Especially, let's see, my Oscar Mayer one, which I won't do today because I think we might have a glass of wine before I sing that one.
But we both have passion. Like when we go out and we're talking to customers, we're not selling. We are not selling. We're passionate about certain products that are in that store that we both love. And when somebody says, "Oh, how do I do this and that?" and I said, "Well, you could use this one, but this is what I use." Okay, and sometimes it's not even totally related to the thing, but people understand and feel that passion that we have.
That's absolutely right. And I like that I get to share. Like, I think I've given my mother's secret Thanksgiving stuffing recipe away to, like, I don't know how many customers, but it's a good thing and you got to share it. I love talking about baking and good pastry, good pies and different cookies and my dad's barbecue recipes, all those things. And people get so excited because someone else loves it like they do.
And with COVID, we've all been in lockdowns here, there, or everywhere. We're all discovering new things that we're cooking and baking, things that we never did before. Now we're trying because we got all this free time. I've been baking breads, which I never really did before, and
thank goodness you bring them into work because I'm loving it.
Bring them into work and doing rye breads and trying to play around with different recipes. I like experimenting. I don't like going by a recipe. I might use a recipe just to understand it a little bit and then take it upon myself.
Well, that's right. And then we talk about it's like you throw some Southwestern things into stuff that is amazing. I love stews and I love your soups. So being winter, that has been fantastic. And we also we get excited about talking about, remember how we were talking about ambrosia a while back? Like that awful little fruit salad with marshmallows, but we both remember it.
Yeah, I think everybody had that in some summertime somewhere. So now we're going to talk about, we have a lot of international food days and holidays coming about.
We love to celebrate the heck out of everything, and you can find a National Food Day just about every day of the year. So this week, one of my personal favorites today is National Guacamole Day.
Ooh, you got to keep that pit in there. I didn't know that till I lived in California. You got to keep the pit in the guacamole so it doesn't go bad.
That's right. Well, see, Californian, I have avocado in my veins. We adore it.
So you look so when you bleed, you're like Spock, right?
That's right.
It comes out green.
And you might get this from the East Coast because you do it way more over there. I know you're not Boston, I know you're New York, but it's halfway to St. Patrick's Day holiday.
Oh, St. Patty's Day. I mean, when we had St. Patty's Day is like a ritual in New York, and we'll talk about that. But there's no place better to be, I think, on everybody's Irish. Kiss me if you're Irish. Let's have a drink. Let's not leave the bar. We'll go on with that when we start talking about St. Patty's Day.
I think we came up with Irish coffee. There's a bar in San Francisco. I cannot think of the name of it. And
I think it's Buena Vista or something like that. It's on with Lucille Ball and that movie with her and 6 different kids or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll give you, when we go to that show, I'm not going to do it now, but I'll give you that recipe for the Irish coffee.
Well, I might have to warm up with that later on today. Maybe I'll
just give everybody a clue. Just go out there and buy some good Irish whiskey because you're going to need it.
Okay, and then moving on to Thursday, which is far more wholesome than the Irish whiskey, is National Apple Dumpling Day.
Oh, that's something I never had.
Yeah, my family didn't really do that either. But the next one, so on Friday, it's National Cheeseburger Day.
Oh, but I like Pickle Day because it has cheeseburgers. I have to have pickles. In Australia, I don't understand. People go to McDonald's. Hold a pickle. I don't want a pickle. What do you mean? You don't want? No, just give me the pickles, okay? I put down extra pickles all the time.
Well, hang on to your hat. There is a National Pickle Day, but we'll come to
I
that
would hope
later.
so.
Now, my favorite cheeseburger, I don't need to tell you. We're going
Yeah.
to say it at the same time.
Yeah, I know. Don't tell me. Okay, let them guess. Okay, we'll have a fast food day or something like that. So
Well,
in one of our episodes, we're not going to
that's
give it
good
all
enough.
away today.
And now, Saturday is National Butterscotch Pudding Day.
Mm,
Now, we both agree on one thing. You can have instant pudding or you can have cook and serve pudding.
yeah, and a cook and serve for only one reason. Go ahead, tell them.
The skin.
Oh, yes.
I think there's a Seinfeld episode with George talking about the skin on the pudding. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then the tops of the muffins and stuff like that. And it's also, talking about like that, this is where like my sickness comes in, all right? So when I make things like cream of wheat or cream of rice or stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? It has to be lumpy. I love the lumps, and it can't be smooth. Smooth is like if you make it smooth, you made it the right way. No, you got to make it wrong to make it lumpy.
It's the same with tapioca pudding.
Yeah.
It has to be a little bit chunky in there.
Well, the chunkies are the tapioca, right?
Yeah, but you can get those chunks in it, sort of like cream of wheat, where it doesn't go all the way. Now, after that, I don't know. I've never had this drink. On Sunday, it's National Rum Punch Day, but it sounds like something I could get behind.
Yeah, I think so. I think just having rum and anything will make a day.
Hey, you went and had drinks in the basement of the Fairmont in San Francisco, where they have that whole tiki bar, didn't you?
No, my only tiki experience was in Hawaii at one of those real
that's
old
right.
from the 70s tiki bar.
Well, there's still one going at the Fairmont in San Francisco, which next time I'm home, I'm getting there. But I think I'll save that rum punch for that one. Now, on Monday, there's the International Banana Festival.
Oh, that's too healthy.
I know. Although I can hear Harry Belafonte singing the Banana Boat song in the back of my mind.
Yeah, okay. Sorry.
Now, next one is National. Now, okay, here we go. Is it pecan or pecan? Cookie
It
day.
depends where I say pecan.
I say pecan pie, and I might say
I know,
pecan.
and people are pecans. Sorry, it's pecans. Oh, okay.
I'll have to check with my mother because that's one of those things she would get after me about. So it's either pecan or pecan, and so like a pecan. Pecan sandy.
But pecan, when you talk about pecans, like my favorite thing of pecan is pecan ice cream. You know that butter pecan. Oh, I love butter pecan ice cream. When we go back home, that's always on the top of the list. We got to buy some butter pecan ice cream.
That is amazing. I go for that, and I go through.
And that goes into your next day too,
which is National Ice Cream Cone Day, which is Tuesday, the 22nd. So
now, there's good cones and bad cones. I remember you used to go to Mr. Softy and stuff, and you get those awful crappy cones, and then they came. Then you realize, oh wait, there's better. There's sugar cones.
Yeah. My grandmother would never spring for the sugar cone.
Yeah, that was a nickel more. Yeah, I know.
But we used to go to a place called Conrad's, which was a lunch counter, and Mr. Conrad, who was a grumpy old man, used to make ice cream. And you see this window. He wore all white, like a white top and white pants and white shoes, and he'd make those. But we were such regulars in there, he used to let me go into the ice cream room with him when he was making, I think it was mint chip ice cream. It's amazing.
Yeah, there's so many good things. Well, that's going to bring us into our next little thing that we're going to talk about is next week's show.
Well, we're going to have a guest. Phil, do you want to talk about our very special guest? He's a lovely guy.
Okay, so next week's show is, the feature on the show is going to be hometown favorites. So when you're listening to this, okay, don't forget to go on the website and get all the information. It's contact@usafoods.com.au. That's our little hideaway. So you could write in some suggestions or write in what your hometown favorites are. But our special guest will be Donald Bates. He's a former congressman from the great state of Kansas, which this week we're watching the Kansas City Chiefs open up the series, and of course, what they win. But that's another story. Anyway, but he will be here. He'll be our first guest. So Donald is coming in, and talking about his hometown favorites, and which will be much different, I'm sure, than because he's in the middle of the country than mine and Barbara's.
Well, although we do have some Kansas ties, both of us.
Yes.
But we have to make sure everyone subscribes to the podcast as well, so they won't miss out on listening to Donald, because you don't want to miss out on that. And you also don't want to miss out on some more topics that we'll be talking about with more National Food Days that'll probably will bring into shows. If it's so good, we will maybe build a show around it as well.
Yep. And look, that brings us to the end of this one. So before we go, don't forget to subscribe. Like Barbara just said, email us, look at our website. You have more information on there that'll be coming up. Might all not be there one time, but it will be there. And you can't say Gdayall, and maybe bye y'all.
Yeah, bye y'all. How about y'all come back now, you hear?
Yep. Okay. That's a wrap.
I like fried chicken thighs that make me feel so good. Bacon fat, I'd marry that if I only could. Stoking coals soothes my soul. I love my barbecue. Understand, I'm just a man with the pork fat baby back blues. I've known girls round the world, sweet as apple pie, candy lips and honey hips make me wanna cry. Love is fine, but so is swine. Just don't make me choose. 'Cause understand, I'm still a man with the pork fat baby back blues. I've been told you don't grow old living life this way. Maybe so, but all I know is I'm living day to day. Once you find a love like mine, you know that love is true. Understand, I'm just a man with a pork fat baby back blues. Yeah, understand, I'm still your man with a pork fat